Some guys get slammed for no reason, some guys get hyped for no reason.
Is it bitter and lonely not to believe in anything?
You're the perfect soldier, John. Naive, gullible, brainwashed, chain of command.
What's up, everyone? At GamerGuy1991, bringing you another review of a highly underrated game. This review is brought to you by megamediaoverload.blogspot.com, my own personal publication where you can get the latest and non-biased gaming news and media. So, we're here to talk about Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, and if you're watching this, chances are you're a newcomer to the series. While fans may be curious and seek out further information, the Sniper Ghost Warrior series has a devout cult following. While many sniping fans flock to the Sniper Elite franchise, which has been far more polished than the past two Ghost Warrior games, still, there is something about the first-person perspective which offers a more realistic and immersive sniping experience. In this latest installment, City Interactive has perfected first-person sniping. It's realistic, satisfying, and requires skill. Now, I'm the type that if you give me an AK-47, chances are I'm just going to Rambo my way through. It's just cathartic. Yet the sniping is superbly done, to the point that every single shot that lands feels like one hell of a field goal. The slow-motion kill cams are a sight to behold. Better still, sniping the majority of your opposition and then mopping up the rest with an AK is thrilling due to the enemies being no slouches. Not only are the firefights visceral in both feel and the cinematic style that City Interactive has perfected, but the challenge of enemies who can tear you a new one in a split second makes this the Dark Souls of the FPS genre. These are trained terrorists you're fighting, not stormtroopers. They can aim and have good eyesight. It requires both planning and thinking fast on your feet to be a total Rambo. But the game is surprisingly without frustration, for the most part. Sure, it sucks to nearly have it, then get capped. I get it. We all have those moments of being mad as hell. But that is on us, not the game. The game is constantly giving you checkpoints, and there are a plethora of fast travel spots, so you're never having to go through a long trek back to the last spot you got mollywopped at. The game is meant to be played any way you like, though I find mixing up my tactics and planning out an assault to be part of the fun. I find the perfect place to pick off most of the scum below, then sneaking down and using my knife or silenced weapons, never to be seen or heard. It is always satisfying in a pretty amazing way. Though if you are seen and you're not unrealistically outnumbered, it is easy to hold your own if you are prepared and have a bit of skill. Running from cover to cover, clearing rooms, and getting into large firefights is tense and offers thrills other single-player FPSs couldn't even dream of. While the past games were linear shooters, perhaps in the style of Call of Duty, but with the focus, of course, being more on sniping and stealth, the third entry has brought us into an open world. While the story missions have a certain type of linear feel to their design, you are free to approach them however you see fit. And I was particularly impressed by the mission design, as it offered a ton of variety in both objectives, locations. You're going to be doing a ton of different things in this game. While the game looks and plays like a AAA title, this game is an independent game made with a AAA budget, which makes the game's insane visuals and ambition even more impressive. Sadly, you will see some areas that for all intents and purposes were copied and pasted, with some elements switched around just a bit. This is forgivable though, given how great the game looks and the location that feels unique in this day and age. The well-polished combat, stealth, and solid traversal mechanics also make it apparent that the focus was clearly on making a game that played well, and most importantly, a game that is fun. For a game to be this challenging and yet lack the frustration of a game like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, it shows just how much effort went into balancing every single detail. If there was one game that I could compare this to, it would be Far Cry 2, which was my personal favorite of the entire series. It was very challenging, but well worth the effort. As is Ghost Warrior 3. Also, as a gamer with severe anxiety due to Asperger's, if I can roll, so can you. It takes time to learn the playstyle that best suits you, but once you do, you will use all of the game's cool gadgets like your handy drone to mark enemies, and customizable weapons to feel like a true Special Forces badass, dropped behind enemy lines into a 1980s action film. City Interactive has been progressively not only making games that play better, but they are getting more adept at storytelling. The story is a giant cliche, two army brothers, and of course your little brother happens to get kidnapped, so you choose an operation near where he was last seen. While the plot is nothing grand, the characters are actually very memorable, compelling, and captivating, mainly due to some fantastic voiceover work, but also some solid writing as well. So you set off to kill, scout for intel, and cause general mayhem. Along the way, you will scavenge for supplies and interrogate enemies. One of my favorite side activities was hunting down targets from the most wanted list. These encounters often turn into some very satisfying shootouts, or offer a nice stealth shot, which offers the most realistic and satisfying headshots in any game I have played. We are not talking exploding heads in the traditional sense. No, expect to see chunks of brain, bone, and flesh explode outward. This is as close to a perfect release as City Interactive has ever gotten. This is not a game like the first, where it was a true love it or hate it cult affair. This is a game with a very unique kind of appeal. It is a niche game for gamers looking for a challenging sniping experience, as well as an FPS that offers something different. It may be similar to the Far Cry series, as you can see the influence everywhere. It still has its own unique identity, though, that sets it apart from other shooters on the market. The only real moment where I hit a deja vu effect is the driving mechanics feeling so close to Far Cry 2's, which is not a bad thing. Cars handle well and get you from point A to point B effortlessly, and even adds another fun element to a solid experience. My only true complaints would be that most of the buildings are just props. You can only enter certain ones, and most of them have little inside, except for the odd collectible, gear, or currency. So you have your own bat cave of sorts, where you can rest in between missions, gear up, buy new gear or supplies, and you can also even level up to gain new abilities in each skill tree: Sniper, Ghost, and of course, Warrior. This allows you to make your character your own, and I really liked that. The weapon variety is also insane. This is a game that I know some people will hate. It is very tough to get the hang of at first, but it is not broken in any way. In fact, I only experienced 3 very mild frame rate drops, and a few instances of texture pop-in. Overall, this is a game for those looking for something different. There are no other games like this on the market, and while it shares similarities with other open-world shooters, that is not a bad thing. Furthermore, you can always tell that City Interactive puts the utmost love and care into each of their games. Now they're upping their game with Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, and I can absolutely not wait to see what comes next. And if you enjoy Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, I highly recommend one of their most underrated and absolute best first-person shooters, Enemy Front. Thanks for watching my review, and I'll catch you in the next video.